This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so you can see this diagram over here. Now on the database cluster, we already talked about database cluster, how to create a database cluster. We created with initdb command, and inside that database cluster, we created databases as well. Okay, we created the database as well. So if you see over here in this diagram, in database cluster, three things comes up: user groups, databases, and table spaces. So now these are the users, and table spaces are not part of the database, they are above the database. So you create a user, you can connect to any database if you have the privilege to do it. And similarly, database can store in any of the tables, database can store the data any of the table spaces you specify. And by default we have pg default and pg global. Global is for storing the catalog information, and pg default storing your data files, okay, all your normal tables. So under database, we have catalogs, we have schemas, and we have extensions. Okay, so now schema is nothing but the collection of different objects, just like tables, views, sequences. All these are schemas. Okay, schema is the logical division of your objects, which can contain functions as well, event triggers. So every object, table, view, sequences, indexes as well. So index is not specified in the diagram, but every different objects, only different database objects, is a part of a schema. So user and schema are different. So user is for a connection to your database, and schema is the collection. Okay, is a collection. So user and schema can be same as well. Same means same name as well, just like a Postgres schema we talked about, right? We are connecting through Postgres, and the schema name was also Postgres. So schema can be same as well, but it can be different as well. So you connect from a user and you connect from a schema, and you connect from a user, and then go by default you go into a one particular schema. So your any object cannot be without a schema. Every object will be staying in one particular schema. Okay, there is, you can understand a schema with a different room. Maybe there is a godown which has different data, and there are 10 different rooms, right? So that go down means a database, and there are different rooms, and different rooms means different databases, different schemas, and each schema will be having objects. Okay, different objects. Okay, you can be into one schema and you can make a join, or you can connect, or you can connect different tables. You can create primary, foreign keys across it. That we already discussed, right? But across schemas would be a bit difficult to do it, because across schema you have to specify that that schema name. Okay, so whenever you're specifying that particular, then you have to schema name dot table name.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think
Yeah.
I'm muting. Yeah, you have questions?
And if you don't specify the table name, and by default it goes to PG defaults, right?
If you don't specify any table space, then by default it would go to pg default.
And if you specify the table space, it goes to PG global, right?
No, if you specify some other table space, right? You specify a new table space that you have created by
Uh-huh.
default. So PG default is the table space for your PG global is not a table space for us users. It is only for the catalog information, for the metadata. This is not for us, for
PG
what we are
global.
using this. Yeah, this is internally for database purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm just muting you off because there's a lot of um, noise coming up. If you can unmute whenever you want to ask anything. Okay, so one is catalog. Okay, catalog is something which is very similar, because above database, just like a database cluster has some of its catalog information about the databases and other stuff, the users and table space information, the structure of the database, the permissions, the parameter file. Just like that, a catalog will the database will have its own catalog. So own catalog means, just like we have pg databases, pg underscore databases, pg underscore table space, such views were there, right? In the same way, we would have some pg underscore tables view, pg underscore indexes. So information about tables and information about indexes, such information would be there in the catalog. So whenever you heard the word catalog, catalog means data about the data, metadata kind of. Okay, where my table is, where my indexes are,
The
what is the size
metadata
of my.
information stays in the catalog table.
Yes, in a catalogs. Okay, then there are extensions. So Postgres has a functionality of extensions. So extensions are the external um,
I call it external procedures or functions. You install an extension, then that external packages gets installed into that particular, and then maybe your functionality from some particular functionality. Okay, just like I would say, it is a collection of functions and procedures. Actually, it's a collection of functions and procedures generally which creates, if you install them, it might create some tables as well. You can create your own extensions as well, and then you can enable it in your database. Okay, assume assume there is extension which I generally use is dblink. Okay, I don't exclusively use extensions much because we are not from the development background. The db as a db we don't need much. Okay, so that extension I use is dblink. So dblink is a functionality where you can link across different databases. I told you in the beginning that we cannot link across databases. When you have to create a join condition, we cannot link it, but there is an extension available to do it actually. So external functionality which you can install in your database, then it will create internal functions and internal procedures, and then it might do some task for you which you're looking for. And these extensions are developed by different communities in the community websites, or might be this extension you can develop of your own as well. Okay, so now you understand the high level concept of database. Schemas, roles, and tablespace. Schema is the collection, logical collection of objects, just like if you give you an example of go down or something, you can understand. Now, so database is a named collection of SQL objects. How you can check it? You can check it from pg underscore database view, or you can specify \l. I think we already did that. Okay, now to check the OID of database, OID means the object identifier, object identifier of the database that identifies the directory name in pg underscore default directory. We specified, right? We checked that in the table space we had three databases. One was one, other was 1345, something like this, another something, some name, right? So in the same way, each database will have an OID, that is object identifier. You can check it from this table pg underscore database. To check the size of the database, you have this function select pg underscore database size. Okay, I think it gives in megabytes. You can check the database size as well from this. Okay, now this is the command to check the database. You can create the
Can you go
database.
up? Can you go up? Can you go up? So check the size of, so select PG, select the PG database size, name of the database or object of the database, right?
OID, yeah, object ID.
Oh, so like this, is this a command? Is this a table PG underscore database underscore size?
Yeah, this is a function. This is an internal function which is automatically provided by Postgres. So if you execute this, this will calculate the size of the database, that the size of all the files in that tables, indexes, and everything, and give you a size.
Okay, yeah, perfect. Got it.
Okay, so this is the command to create your database. Now if you see this command, I just specified by default create database name. I think on that day we tried, right? Create database and database name. Okay, but you can specify different options as well. Okay, you can specify different options as well. Create database with honor. Honor is the owner of the particular database. So by default Postgres is the user, and Postgres will by default become the owner. Okay, so you can connect with the Postgres. So Postgres becomes the owner. Then inside the database you can create different schemas as well. So create database with owner is equal to user. You can specify an owner of it, just like it specifies owner sales app. Table space, you can specify a table space as well, which you have created. So I need not to create anything, so I didn't specify anything. If I don't specify, automatically by default table space become pg underscore default.
So,
But in
so
this,
in real time, what will be the table space? Do we have to create a table space first for each new database?
recommended for the real time.
Recommended, right?
Yes, because you understand the logic. Okay, now in this system I am creating everything in /var. okay, in the mount point of slash where. This is not logical, right? Just like in C drive, I'm not sure how much you know Unix. In the same, like if somebody creates, I install Postgres, it'll automatically will be installed in C drive and automatically create a database in C drive, and table space's default location is C drive. I cannot keep on filling up my C drive, right? I need to put it into other drives. Okay, database can be 500 GB, 1 TB, also 2 TB as well. There are databases with 2 or 5 TBs as well. Postgres generally not very big databases, the Postgres, because still people are uh, uh, very like experimenting, not on very big, not taking up that much risk. But yes, there are. Just a minute, just a minute. Oh, sorry. So okay, so you have to create a table space, then you specify the table space name with that database command. You should put a different honor also. You should not use Postgres as an honor. Create different honor, create different table space for each database. At least one table space, at least one table space. You can have multiple table spaces also for particular database, but at least one table space you
So
should
how
have.
do we create a table space?
I think we tried it on that day, right? We did it on that day.
On the Linux, right? On the Unix box, right?
Yes, we did. We did.
Maybe probably tomorrow I will launch the same instance on AWS, and during that we will create one.
We'll try it once more.
Yes.
When we'll do the practical for this create database, we'll try it once more, not an issue. Okay. So this is the command. So you specify a template name as well. Template name from where you want to get it. So by default is template one. So if you have some tables, some users in template one, automatically it will come up to you. So this is character set encoding. Character set by default it will pick up from your operating system. If you have something separate, you can do it. And just like connection limit. Connection limit is the number of connections that you can come to your database at one time. Okay, so by default it is unlimited, but you can specify some limit as well. Okay,
Mhm.
so this is the syntax for your database. Okay, so you can create a database in the pSQL, and you can also create a database at Unix level as well. At Unix system, if you create a database, a Unix command, this is the syntax for it. Create db edb store -p 5432, and 5432 is the port number of the cluster. So cluster doesn't have a name in Postgres. Okay, we have to remember this, place cluster doesn't have a name in the Postgres. Cluster is identified by the data directory where its configuration file are put. That in that we give a suffix -d, minus big D, and port num with, or we specify with -p port number. Okay, so I'm creating a database. I'm just telling that I want to create a database into a cluster which is running on 5432, and the name of the database is edb store. Now this command has been fired on my Unix prompt. Okay, earlier this create database fired was fired on the Postgres prompt, or pSQL. We will say pSQL.
Like client tool,
Yeah,
client tool.
yeah, client.
Mhm.
So now this is the default databases which is there: template one, template zero, and Postgres. I think I already shown you. So template one, the object ID by default. Okay, I think template zero has an object ID of one, and template one has some object ID. So by default, the new databases will be created by cloning this standard database, which is template one. So if you add any object to template one, these object will be automatically copied to subsequently created user databases. I think second line is also clear. So if you add any object to template one, whenever you create a new database, you'll automatically create it. Template zero should never be changed after database cluster has been initialized. Okay, so by default connection cannot be made to template zero. Okay, template zero is a
What is the
read-only
purpose of
database.
this? What is the purpose of this?
Purpose is because you are keep on changing template one. You can change a template one, so just for backward compatibility. Okay, backward compatibility where nothing has been changed. Okay, you can it's a read-only database, but you can use it to create it. In this create database command, which you go back, create database, you can specify over here template is equal to a template zero. Okay, okay, if you don't specify, automatically it will pick up from template one, but you can specify template zero also.
What is the purpose basically?
Purpose is just to have two templates. Okay, just to have two templates from where you can create your databases, template one and template zero. At least to have two templates to create your databases. Okay, you make
Under template we can create our databases.
No, you're not understanding. Just giving. Okay, let us come back. Create database, template one. Create database. I give a name to create database sales, template one. Okay, so template one means template one is a database. Okay, so it will pick up all the objects that are in template one to new database that is sales. Okay,
Oh, so cloning.
Ge-
Nice.
cloning. Generally, template one will not have a data. Assume you have some basic functionality where you should have some structure in the organization. Assume that you should have these 10 tables minimum every database, or maybe this 10 users minimum.
Or
So why
or
not to
or
create?
you just copy these objects from another database to the
Right.
created database. So you
So
have
you
to create
create
new
you
place.
create these objects into template one, and then when you're creating a database, automatically these objects will come into that new database script because you have created those objects in template one. But
Okay.
template zero is still untouched. Okay, so you still have something to rely on. The template zero is untouched. In the meantime, in the future, if I want to create a blank database, then I can create from template zero, because now template one is already have some data, right? Which you don't know which the data, what the data is. So if you want to create something uh, from template zero, from a blank database, then you can use template zero. That is the purpose of to have two templates. Okay.
So if you want to
Now,
copy without copying any objects from template zero, we can use that because it doesn't have
right. Yes. Because this is a read-only database. You cannot go ahead and make a changes in template zero.
any. Mhm.
Okay.
So what are the
Postgres is
objects exist technically? What are the objects exist within the template zero one? Are there any special metadata table?
no. This is default database only. A default. So metadata object is anyways is there. Just like PG underscore database. Now, whenever you're connecting to any table database, right? It is not that you're not whenever you're connecting P SQL minus P. So I told you when you're doing P SQL minus P 5432, which database you are connecting by default?
5432 is a port number.
Right. So when you do P SQL minus P
Mhm.
5432, so which database you connect to by default?
Uh, by default, this is a template one.
Okay. You put a port number, maybe 5432 or 5433, whatever it is. By default, you connect to Postgres database. Postgres database
Uh-huh.
as Postgres user. Okay. Postgres database as Postgres user you connect. Okay. Into a Postgres schema. This is the by default database to be used. You can use this database for your purpose if you want to.
Like public.
No,
L-
it's not public. You can change the Postgres password. Okay, you can change the Postgres password and you can
So we
secure
can
it.
create all tables without needing any credentials or anything on into the Postgres database.
Right. Yeah, it's a database you can use. The default database you can use, make it public if you want to. You can create the different users. Now, this is the default database to use for use. Template one, template zero should not be used, just like I told you, this is standard practices. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Template one is the read-write database. Even though you want to, you can use it as well. Not a problem. But
Mm.
Postgres is the default database to use. Some people in some organization don't use Postgres also. Okay, because Postgres name itself is something which might not be kind of related, right? It's might not be related to your functionalities or you're looking for. So generally, generally you create a new database for any purpose, whatever
Yeah.
it is,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Um, just like a billing purpose, I have a billing database. Maybe
If you
I
want to
am
temporarily need some space to capture the
yes.
results,
So
so they
I okay,
can
I
Postgres.
have a database for, so what I say, what I'll name it, I will say test billing, right? I need a billing database, so I will name it as test billing, test database, right? Same way I might have a database with the dev, so I'll take test dev underscore bill or dev bill or d bill. Okay, or
Mm.
maybe you'll give it some different name that should be related to its purpose, right? That is the standard practices we use, right? So in the
Yeah.
same way, Postgres generally we don't use it, but just like we are developing things or we are just training, then we can anyways use Postgres. Okay, the default database Postgres provide to, but don't go ahead and create, so that I already discussed. Don't go ahead and create so many databases. No, not
Mm.
recommended. Okay, create only there is a need. Okay, otherwise it would be difficult to connect across databases. Different databases are different entity altogether. Okay, they might be sharing the memory and resources, but they are not sharing your storage, your
Mm-hmm.
tables, your indexes. They are altogether different. Okay, you cannot reach them. Okay, so table space. Now table space, this is the command. I think we already did it practically, but this is the command to create a table space. You say create table space. Maybe T1 is the name of the table space. Okay, location. Location you specify. I think this is A is wrong here. Okay, so create table space, create table space T1 location. So location you specify home Postgres T1, anything, any location you can specify. So a table space in Postgres is an additional data area outside the base directory. The function has been implemented in version 8. So before version 8, table spaces was not there. Okay, so that's why I'm telling you Postgres 9 was the mature product, seriously very stable product to be used for productions. Okay, before 9 it was not that much useful for production databases. Okay, in real-time scenarios it is difficult to use it, except it should be on the development or very small databases kind of. Okay, but by
Mm-hmm.
default all files related to a data tables are present in the cluster base folder, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is the command to create a table space. So it creates a directory into this with pg underscore the version. So this will create a directory. So now whenever you're creating a table, you can specify a table space. If you don't specify a table space, where it will go?
Is the default.
Not pg default. It will go to the default table space of this database because it is some right. You have specified. But if you don't specify the default table space in create database, it will automatically go to the pg default. So pg default is overridden by this create database command. This create database command, if I have specified some table space T2, but if I say create table T1, definitely will go to T1. So create table will override this is master's order, right? Table default table is T2, but I put T1,
Create
so it will go to
table.
T1.
So you are creating a employee table under the table space T1. So the physical data of employee table will save under the T1, right?
Yes, right, perfect.
So creates a directory with a PG Postgres. So create table space, the table space name, and its physical storage location is home Postgres within the Linux
Yes,
server, right?
right. Home Postgres T1, the default location. Okay.
Just like a Hadoop file system, right? File storage system.
Yeah, my Unix. So if it is Windows machine, you can say location D
D drive.
drive, C drive, D drive, whatever directory you put it, you put a directory Postgres, so say D drive, Postgres, C drive, Postgres, table space T1, and in T1 it will create its own directory. Okay.
Mhm.
We
Okay.
can see it practically. Okay, so
Mhm.
default table space pg underscore default, which is have which data directory and a base. Okay, pg default puts its data into pg under base directory, the data directory. Within data directory it creates base, and within that base it will create object ids or like directories for different databases. Okay, this object, this file, this directory name is the name of the object id of the database, right?
What about
And then
PG version? I did not understand. What is that?
PG version, just like tables will be created in, this is the what I say, home Postgres T1 PG underscore PG version. Okay, if you go to this diagram in this slide, what is saying home Postgres T1. So inside post T1, it will create one more directory for table space, and the directory would be PG underscore 9 or PG underscore 10, whatever the Postgres version is, PG underscore 10 or 11 or 12. It will create one
Okay.
more directory for that table space.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that
Okay.
is pg underscore version. Then dbid is the object id of the database, and then your table file. So pg underscore global is the default global directory for all the external cluster files. Do not the database file, cluster files, cluster metadata, not the data direct metadata. The
Mm.
database metadata would be object the data about the data, like about the tables, indexes, sequences, objects. But this is about system catalog, control file, internal files. Okay, this will all contain all the objects of pg
All
underscore
the
p.
error log all the error log files and
No,
archive
no,
files will be
no.
stayed.
Error log file is in the data directory. PG Global is in the PG Global has control files and internal files. Internal files will contain the metadata about users, groups, and table spaces. Okay, about the cluster. So cluster will have users, databases, and tables. So information about users, information about database, information about table spaces, information about the control file. Okay, only this.
Mhm.
Okay, and database catalog file will have all the information of the schemas, tables, views, sequences, functions, event triggers,
PG
extensions, and
database,
indexes.
PG databases and PG namespaces and PG tables, views and everything.
Yes,
You go up.
we were there in this slide, right?
Yeah, PG
Default
global.
tables.
All
PG,
catalog tables.
all right. Okay, so list of table spaces you can see with db plus slash db plus. Okay,
No, go back. So within the query, so view existing table space, select from PG table space. There is a table is called PG underscore table space. Select star from PG tables.
This
okay, so
conference will now be recorded.
okay, so symbolic links is actually you create a table space. Generally this table space is not in the same data directory, right? It is not in the data directory. It is generally sitting outside of the data directory, right? This is the purpose of having a table space. If it is within the data directory, there is no purpose. Okay, we can put everything in pg default, right? Why to
Mhm.
create a different directory? So now to Postgres, to understand where its table spaces are, it creates a directory within this, which is known as PG data, which has symbolic links to all. We have a soft link to all this table spaces that is created on that Unix machine, or maybe Unix or Windows, whatever it is. So it is
Mhm.
creating a shortcut kind of. Maybe in Windows might be creating a shortcut, and might be in this creating a soft link to this. So this is just for a information purpose. As a DBA, we should know this directory, what it does doing it. But actually, we need not to worry about this, because we are not going to create any symbolic link over here. Automatically, when we create a table space, automatically a link is created from the data directory to that particular directory where data table spaces are being created. Okay, so it's nothing we have to actually worry about, or we need not to take any actions about this.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. So schema. Okay, schema I think explained earlier as well. So let us just go through it once more. Okay, point by the all these bullet points. Schemas are the collection of objects. Okay, they are part of database. You cannot access schema across database, but within a database, across schema can be accessed if you have privilege to do it. Okay, what does it means is, across databases you cannot
Database
access the
collections
data,
are
right?
not allowed.
Within a database you can access across schemas, but you should have a privilege to do it. Okay, it is not without a privilege. Okay, you are granted by default, you are the owner of only one schema, you are not the owner of complete database. Okay, so public and PG catalog are the default schema. Okay,
Mhm.
these are the two schemas within each database. Two
Mhm.
schemas would always be there, public and PG catalog. Okay,
Mhm.
so by default, when we are logging through Postgres user, we are logging to a public schema. Okay, so public is the default schema. PG catalog is a schema which is containing the catalog uh, tables. Okay,
Details,
catalog
catalog
tables.
tables like info columns, PG
Yes,
tables, PG
yes.
column, PG views. Yes.
Okay, so by default, every user will have an access to this public schema. Okay, so I'll give you an example. Okay, I connect in this way, right? 5432 Postgres. Okay, so when I do this, p SQL minus p5432 Postgres, what does it mean? It is means I am connecting to a Postgres database and I'm connecting to a Postgres user, and by default I'm going into a public schema. Okay, so once logging into a public schema, I can change my schema. Okay, I can change a schema and move to different schemas as well. Okay, but by default I log into a public schema with Postgres. Similarly, I can say p SQL minus p and any database I created, less like db1. Okay, 5432 db1
Are
and
you
maybe
sharing
user.
Are you sharing your screen? Something?
No, I'm putting on the chat window.
Okay. Yeah.
So I can just say, or maybe I can put it on Notepad as well. Okay,
Mhm.
so when I say p SQL minus p 5432 db1 and Postgres, so what it means is I am logging to db1 database, okay, from Postgres user into public schema. Okay, so I am by default logging to public
Using
schema
Postgres user.
by using Postgres user.
So
Okay,
for example, Gopi as a
maybe
user. So P SQL minus P so and so
maybe
database Gopi.
database maybe database name is might be db1 or db3 and Gopi user. So Gopi user by default will go to public schema using Gopi user into db3 database. Okay, so this is way I'm connecting. This is the way I am connecting always. So
Mhm.
by default, there are two schemas, PG catalog and public. Every user will have a right on the public schema. A user has a right of create. So create is a right to create any object. Usage is the minimum privilege required for any user to use that schema. So usage is a minimum privilege you have to grant to every schema. First privilege you have to grant is usage. Then you can grant create, you can grant select, you can grant insert, update, delete, different privileges you can grant. But first privilege you have to grant is usage, so that can use that schema. PG catalog contains system tables. Okay, all system tables begin with PG underscore. So that we know, right? We have seen this PG underscore database, PG underscore table space. Now this is a cluster metadata. This are cluster. Okay, inside this you can find PG underscore table, PG underscore index, PG underscore
PG underscore
sequence,
namespace, PG underscore
uh,
tables, views, and
trigger,
and
such things,
columns,
such subject, PG underscore view. So all this would be created as a catalog. So these are all be the catalog tables
catalog tables.
in catalog schema. Okay,
Mhm.
this would be catalog tables in a catalog schema.
Mhm.
Okay, so database user are global across database users are global. Users are globals, but schemas are specific to particular database. Okay,
So
schema.
basically, users and groups are common at the cluster level, and schemas are local to the database level.
Yes.
Okay. Mhm.
So default schema for each user is decided by the search path. Okay, search path is a parameter which we'll discuss. Search
Default,
path is where.
default is the public. Yeah. Mhm.
So every connection to a database is made by using a user. Users are roles are same in Postgres. Okay, users and roles are same. So users and roles. So
But you said
what is
group, right? Groups and roles are same, right?
no group I have not talked about. I says users and roles are same.
How?
Group I've not given any name. I've not told about groups. Okay, so now how it is same, I just tell you.
Or no,
I
is it?
have
Uh-huh.
I have a user just like Gopi, right? Gopi is a user.
Mhm.
Okay, Gopi is a user which can connect to the database. Now Gopi has some privileges like I have sent direct, grant, select on. I have a schema.
On all
Maybe,
tables in schema, on all tables in
maybe
schema,
I have a schema finance. Okay,
on
I
schema.
say grant select finance dot emp to Gopi.
Uh-huh.
So I'm giving a privilege. Grant update on finance dot department to Gopi. So
Uh-huh.
I've given two privileges to Gopi. One is select on finance to EMP to Gopi. I've given a grant privilege on finance dot department to Gopi. So now
Mhm.
Gopi has these two privileges. Now there is one more user, maybe Arnav. Okay. I will say grant Gopi to Arnav. So there is one way. One way is I grant these two privileges separately to Arnav. Okay. One way is I grant Gopi to Arnav. So whatever Gopi privileges has automatically granted to Arnav.
Called a nested privileges at the user level.
Yes, you can say that.
Okay.
Nested
What about
privileges.
group? What about do you have a group?
Roles. No, there is no concept of groups actually.
Okay. So
There is
in
no concept of
Postgres,
group.
we have a role. So you can assign all these
So,
privileges
so,
at the
so,
role level instead of the user level
so
and
roles is known as the collection. Okay,
access
collection of
privilege.
privileges. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
collection of access privileges or privileges. Simple word, privileges or access privileges. So role is the collection of privileges.
Mm-hmm.
User is also a collection of privileges.
So there are two ways we can maintain the privilege. One is at the user
Now,
level, another one is
what
at
i-
the role level.
what is the difference? Without login facility. With login facility.
Yeah.
So with the role, you cannot log into a database. With
Yes.
user, you can log into a database. Okay, you have a privilege to log into a database, and then you connect to a different schema. Okay, you got to connect to a different schema, but with the role, you cannot log into a database. Now that is the thin line. That is a thin line difference between role and users. Roles is a collection of access privileges. User is also a collection of access privileges. You grant any privilege to a role, then you grant that role to any other user on any other role, automatically all the privilege the role has to go to that user or role. Similarly for user also, but user has a login facility, but role doesn't have a login facility. Now there's
Mm-hmm.
a thin line difference between them. Okay, and then there is there is one more what we say privilege with grant option. Okay, now if I use this with this. Okay. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, who is granting finance EMP to Gopi? Which user can grant? The user who is the owner of finance schema. That has only the right to grant any user select or update of any user. Any other Gopi cannot grant because Gopi is not the owner of the schema of finance
Or
schema,
super
right?
user. Mm-hmm.
Super user or any user, maybe that user name is user one. User one is has the honor of the finance schema, so it can grant to Gopi.
Mm-hmm.
Now Gopi now has a privilege to select on finance to EMP. Now Gopi wants that he Arnav should also have a privilege. But if I am logged in, if I am say PL SQL minus P Gopi, I cannot go ahead and grant the select privilege to Arnav. I don't have a right. I have a right to select it, but I don't have a right to grant this privilege to this.
Mm-hmm.
Only user one can grant privileges. But if I'm given with grant option, okay, I can grant. Now this is the keyword with grant option. Now this is the keyword. Now in this update I can grant. So if I'm logging as Gopi, I can say grant update on finance dot department to maybe Arnav. Okay, I can do
So
this.
do you grant a select?
I can grant a select. I grant a select. I
Or
as if I say grant
with grant
select
option.
on
With the grant option.
with grant option
If you have with
to
grant option, you can select. Mm-hmm.
with grant option. Then if you have a so now Gopi has a privilege to select this finance.emp. It can select and also it can grant other users with this. Now this is something risky, but because we are giving it a privilege to do it, but this is how is it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, understood.
Okay.
Please save this
So
document, you know.
this notepad.
Yeah, please save this the discussion things and send it.
This is a recording. This recording is there in the GoToMeeting site. You can download it.
Okay, yeah. And after this class, could you please share this document to me?
The slides.
Yeah,
Okay, maybe I'll send all the slides at one go today. Better
yeah, yeah,
sending it every day. I'll send it all the slides at one go.
yeah.
Okay. So okay. So user who creates the table automatically becomes the owner of the table. Whoever creates the table, okay, automatically becomes the owner of that table. Okay. Users and roles are all the collection of privileges can be granted to any further role. So this is all the bullet points for this users schemas and users. Okay. So how do you create a schema?
No, no, no. Can you go back? Can you go back? So every okay, roles are same. Postgres is a super user. Postgres is the user.
Mhm. It is user also, no? Database name is Postgres and username is also Postgres.
Postgres is a super user, right?
All right.
Mhm.
So a super user is also a privilege actually. I can grant the super user privilege also to other users as Postgres. First,
So
Postgres is created. So now Postgres has the privilege to grant the super user privilege to other users as well.
so by default, there is a super user name is called Postgres,
Yes.
and by using this super user Postgres username, and we can do setup and everything. DBS can do okay all these setups. Okay, yeah, good.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. Thank you very much. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. So create schema. Okay, so create a schema authorization so now this is the create schema, so the command to create it. Okay, so by default the user that creates the schema will be owner of this schema or mentioned in the, so either if I say create schema, maybe Joe or whatever schema, finance, whatever schema I want to make it, I can make it. Okay, and either so if so, assume Postgres is trying to create it, Postgres trying to create it, then Postgres will become the owner. Okay, but if Postgres wants that somebody should be the owner of that particular schema, I can specify with the keyword authorization. Okay, I can specify with the keyword authorization. Okay,
But
later on also.
how do you decide who is the owner, or if you don't define the owner, the default is a Postgres, right?
Default is the Postgres. Default user is
Postgres is
the
the user. Postgres is the
user.
user, and also there is a default Postgres database, so we can define the system name. Okay.
Right.
By
We
default,
can.
the user that creates the user will be the owner mentioned in the Okay, so you have to log in with the Postgres user and then create this database. So Postgres is the user. Okay, good.
Okay. So user by. Okay. So now this user. Okay, this user Postgres, I say authorization Joe. So Joe is the owner, is the user, and the schema as well. So the standard practice is username and schema name should be same. Okay. Whenever you're creating any schema, make a same user also, and because this is just like not a kind of compulsion by Postgres. This is just standard practice which is followed in a database. Whenever you're managing the database, it becomes more easier to have a same name as username and same owner as username as well. Don't make Postgres as the owner for all schemas. Okay, let's have a different owner for each schemas. Okay, schema, and because in some databases, I'm telling you an example of an Oracle database. Oracle database, there is no concept of user. Okay, there's no concept of user at all. Everything is schema. So by default, that schema and user are same only. Okay, you connect to from a user and you become, but in this when we have they have differentiating between user and schema. So the standard practices says that the user is also Postgres. Just like I have go down, I have 10 different rooms, one is for balls, one is for cricket bats or something. So the room name should be balls, right? The room name should be ball, it is containing balls, and the boss name or the owner for that room should be named ball. If it is name is ball only, then it is good, right, to make to connect and to decide. Otherwise, you make a room ball but you make the owner as bat, kind of it becomes confusion, right? Just like for the simplicity. Okay,
So
standard
set the
practices,
same
I'm
name.
just telling you,
Set the
but
same name.
yeah,
Yeah.
this is the
Mhm.
standard practices to be utilized. Okay, okay,
Can you
the
go back?
standard
Can you go?
practices.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
Okay.
so this
So
is the way you can create a schema. Okay, so you create a schema and then you can make, once you create a schema, by default the owner becomes Postgres. So later on also you can change the owner. Later on you can just say alter schema Joe owner to Joe. Okay, you can, or in the beginning also you can make it, but that user should already be there. The user should already be there, and the same way you can drop the schema as well. If you
Mhm.
drop a schema, it will give you an error if it contains an object. Okay, if it gives you an error, just a warning kind of, it has objects, so do not drop it. But now if you want to drop it seriously, you're very sure, then you put a cascade. So if you say a cascade, then means automatically all the objects inside that schema will also be dropped.
All
Anyways,
dependency
it has,
objects are also gone. Yeah.
yes, all the objects within that schema would also be, all the tables, indexes, whatever you've created will also be gone.
Mhm.
Okay, Next slide comes as next thing is create user. Okay, so create user, you can create it with the password, or you can just say create user. Now when you say create user, it becomes a role. Okay, it becomes a role, just a collection of privileges. Okay, you cannot log in. If you want to log in, you have to specify a password. So you create user with the password. Okay, if you,
1 minute. Create user, username, create a user with the password. So you are creating a user with the password. Okay, David A. And what about Jonathan? You create a user with no password, it becomes role. It means,
I'm sorry.
what is that? Create a user with no password, it becomes a role.
Yeah, it becomes a role. It just becomes a collection of privileges. Okay, it becomes a role. You cannot, I just explained here the role and users. So it becomes a role. So now you cannot log in with this Joe. Okay, you cannot log in with this this user Jonathan. Okay, you cannot make it as an honor also. You can just make it as it becomes a role. Without a password becomes a role.
So Jonathan is a role technically. It's a role
Yes,
name.
he's a role.
Okay, create a user with no password, it becomes a role.
Okay, so create user with password valid until, so this user will be valid until this point, other after that it will become logged, this user. Okay, create user with password, create db create user. Now this create db create user, I am giving a privilege. Now this privilege is the system privilege, I am giving it to it. Okay, which is
Okay, good.
okay, so create db and create user is a privilege. So create db, if I give it create db, so this user can create a database. If I give it create user, this user can create a user also.
So he's a super user technically. Manual is a
I
super.
super user, you can say it, almost a super user. Okay, or there is a privilege, you can give it with super user as well. You can say alter user post with the super user. If you say with super user, it will become a super user. Okay, super user will have the complete permission. Okay, will have the complete permission.
Okay, so
Okay,
either you can make the user by using alter user post super user.
yes. Okay, so machine is up as well. You can,
I think for you it's a late night, so we can.
right. Let's connect tomorrow. I think
How is my understanding?